Madam Secretary, please put the next item on our screens. A bill for an ordinance designating Indigenous Peoples Day as a city holiday beginning in the year 2025, Ordinance 0261. Councilmember Cashman, will you please put Council Bill 0261 on the floor for final consideration?
Yes, ma'am. Honored to. I move the Council Bill 25-0261 be placed upon final consideration and do pass.
It has been moved and seconded. I'll start by calling out all the co-sponsors and council members. I'm going to start, just so you know the order of which we'll go in. I'll start with Councilmember Gilmore, Torres, Gonzalez Gutierrez, Pro Tem Romero Campbell, Alvidrez, if you're still online, and I'll end us as Council President. Councilmember Gilmore, go ahead.
Thank you, Council President Sandoval. Good afternoon, everybody. I am honored to be in this space with you all this afternoon. This has been hundreds of years in the making, and I want to sincerely appreciate my council colleagues, Council President Sandoval, Councilwomen Torres, Gonzalez Gutierrez, Romero Campbell, and Alvidrez. We don't do this work by ourselves in any sense of the word, and having these women next to me in this journey is so meaningful. I've already told them that I will be their secretary in any of this work because it is so important. And then I want to also sincerely thank the Denver American Indian Commission, the entire commission, and the co-chairs that I had worked with who reached out on this bill, Shannon Alcott and Raven Payment. And I think it's important in these chambers that we also say the other commission members' names. And so if any council members have questions of anyone, Miss Cecilia Duncan Bullbear will be speaking if anyone has any questions. But she is also a commission member, and if folks remember back, gave the blessing in the committee room before we voted on it in committee. We also have Thomas Allen, Trini Birch, Joshua Emerson, Nicole Foster, Philip Gover, Daleen Maybe, and Brendan Morrison. We also have partnered with the Executive Director of the Denver Indian Center, Rick Waters, President of People of the Sacred Land, Rick Williams, and Executive Director of Colorado Native Organizations, Sid Whiting. And this was a group effort, but this is not the end, it is only the beginning. And so the reason that we speak these words in chambers, we speak them on the public record, is so that you know what you're holding us accountable for and what we have committed to in this space. And then I also want to give great thanks and appreciation to former Councilman Paul Lopez, now our clerk and recorder. We only get to this space by listening to those who went before us and supporting each other. And Clerk Lopez, I have always appreciated your friendship and your leadership, and I'm proud to get this to this place. But we know on the second Monday in October that us as a city need to make sure that we're doing reflection, reconciliation, and education first and foremost, so that we're telling the true stories and so that we're bringing everyone along on this journey. And I know that my colleagues have much more elegant words to share as well, but I just want to wholeheartedly thank all the members of the American Indian community who have gave their time, their wisdom, and continuing to be in this space so that we as policymakers and community can be accountable to you, because we haven't been, and we haven't done that in a good job in the past. So I want to acknowledge that and know that this council is different, and you need to hold us to that space because we're ready to serve you in that way. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Torres.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Councilwoman Gilmore. I was really glad to be a part of moving this forward across the finish line with the commission members. And I know it's been the desire of the commission and of Denver community for many years. Prior to joining council, I was on the city side, on the administration side. And I remember the resistance to approving or supporting the bill that then Clerk Lopez, Councilman Lopez, proposed in 2016 with the Denver American Indian Commission. So it's important to recognize the commissioners of that year and of 2025 for continuing the fight for recognition, and I'm glad to be doing this with you. I just wanted to read a quick poem by Joy Harjo, and she reminds me what she's talking about here of all of you sitting in that front row right there who have been working on this. It's called The Fight. The rising sun paints the feet of night-crawling enemies, and they scatter into the burning hills. I have fought each of them. I know them by name. From before I could speak, I've used every weapon to make them retreat, yet they return every night. If I don't keep guard, they elbow through openings in faith, tear the premise of trust, and stick their shields through the doubt of smoke to challenge me. I grow tired of the heartache of every small and large war passed from generation to generation, but it is not in me to give up. I was taught to give honor to the house of the warriors, which cannot exist without the house of the peacemakers. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilmember Torres. Councilmember Gonzalez Gutierrez.
Thank you, Madam President. I do want to also extend my gratitude and thank the American Indian Commission for making this possible, because it is you who have made it possible and those who came before. I want to thank my fellow council members for bringing me along on this journey and allowing me to be part of this. This is long overdue, and it is a step in the right direction, but we know, we have a lot more progress to make. And we will not stop here, right? This is an amazing, tremendous thing that we are doing today, and I'm proud and humbled to be part of this historic moment, and I see it as that. I want to thank those who came before us, both our ancestors, our elders, and of course our young people, because we can't forget about our future as well, and know that they are helping us to forge that path as well. I want to thank you for your fight, for your resilience, and for the motivation to keep this work going. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Pro Tem Romero Campbell.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to thank the sponsors and for all of those that came before, really blazing a path for being able to get here today. It's truly tremendous. Councilwoman Gilmore, Torres, Gonzalez Gutierrez, and Sandoval, Councilmember Sandoval, President Torres, sorry. Got all the titles. Got all the titles there. But I think that it's so, I'm going down, I'm like calling you guys by your last names. Okay.
Try.
Sounds like a basketball team. What I find incredible is born and raised in Denver, and I just also want to recognize the historic moment that this is. Again, knowing that long overdue, but we are a council that this is coming to be realized. And I look forward to what is next to come. And what other pieces, and how do we really, how are we the city that that this can be actualized? I was able to go to the powwow this weekend, and watching and sitting and watching the procession and people coming in, and it was beautiful. And I kept thinking, wow, and now we're going to be a city that's going to have an Indigenous Peoples Day. And that makes me so incredibly proud. And proud for the work that you've done. So thank you to the Denver Area Indian Commission. It's incredible work. And for the strong women that you are, and for the men as well, but for the strong women that you are, I mean, I think this weekend and for Women's History Month, you have been everywhere, I got to hear you speak on a panel, both you, Shannon, and, and Raven, right? Speaking on a panel. And I think that that is something that's really just amazing for the work that you've been doing, and I've learned so much. Thank you to the other council members. Thank you to everyone sitting in this audience today. And I'm excited for what this means for the future generations, what it means for my kids to be able to be in a city where we have this honor for an Indigenous Peoples Day. So thank you very much. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilmember Alvidrez.
Thank you, Council President. Bummed I'm not there today, but this is such an honor to be a part of. Thank you, Councilwoman Gilmore, Councilwoman Torres, Council President, Clerk Lopez, and all the other sponsors to open the way for this to be possible. I just think of all the prayers that were put down to get to this day and how many more prayers have to be put down to get to the next step. And this is a huge honor for me to just be a part of. And I want to thank the American Indian Commission as well for bringing this forward. And let's work on some more wonderful things to put our community forward. Thank you. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. So I'd like to thank Mayor Johnston and his Department of Finance. As Councilmember Gilmore and Torres were working with the commission, as Council President, I was working on the financial end. And I remember sitting in his office in early January, and he was asking my opinion about something, and I said, I'm not talking about that. What I need to hear you say is you're committed to doing this in 2025. So just want to say to Mayor Johnston, the Department of Finance, I appreciate you working with the co-sponsors to making sure that we have the funding to be able to have the holiday in the fall. As I was preparing my comments, I kept thinking about my grandpa Geronimo, who was Native American, and according to my mom, who's in the audience, when I was baptized, he blessed me in a very Native American tradition. And then in high school, I had a mentor named Ron June, and he was Native American, and he would say this prayer with me during hard times, and I think about it, so I'll just end on this prayer. O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the wind, and whose breath gives life to the world, hear me. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught my people. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every rock and leaf. I seek strength not to be superior to my brother or sister, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself, with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades, as the fading sunset, may my spirit come to you without shame. This is just the beginning, and as we say in the Latino community, que viva. Madam Secretary, roll call on Council Bill 0261. Oh, Councilman Lewis, sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to say congratulations, and as a Black woman, your fight is my fight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madam Secretary, roll call on Council Bill 0261.
Council members Alvidrez.
Aye.
Flynn.
Aye.
Gilmore.
Aye.
Gonzalez Gutierrez.
Aye.
Hines.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Parity. Romero Campbell.
Aye.
Sawyer. Torres.
Aye.
Watson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
11 ayes.
11 ayes. Council Bill 0261 has passed. This concludes the call-out portion of the meeting. All bills for introduction are ordered published. Council members, remember that this is a consent block, or you will need to vote aye. Otherwise, this is your last chance to call out an item for a separate vote. Councilmember Cashman, will you please put the resolutions for adoption and the bills in final consideration for final passage on the floor?
I'm glad to, but a moment of personal privilege.
100%.
I think that last bill deserves a round of applause.